Hello, I am Michael Laughlin, and I will be presenting my work on exploring a quality technique for my employer, Energetics Incorporated. This is in support of the requirements for the MBA 702 final project. Here's the outline of my discussion today, in which I will be using two quality techniques. I will begin by describing Energetics, a company that many of you are likely unfamiliar with, and outlining its business space and basic business processes. Next, I will be describing the specific problem we will be addressing with quality processes, dealing with our company's contracts department. I will then analyze the problem in greater detail using the Toyota Way's 5 Why process as described in Jeffrey Liker's 2004 book, The Toyota Way. Once I have explored the problem with the 5 Why analysis, I will summarize the findings and list the specific issues that will need to be addressed further. I will use the 8D process to lay out a plan to address those specific issues identified by 5 Why and conclude by describing the next steps. Energetics Incorporated is headquartered in Columbia, Maryland, with additional locations in Washington, D.C., Albany and Utica, New York, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Seattle, Washington. We have been in business since 1979 and provide engineering, management, and technical services to a variety of public and private clients in the energy and environment space. We work with clients to develop energy-efficient technologies for transportation and other applications, develop strategic plans for future research and development work, serve as technical experts to review the progress in ongoing R&D work, and facilitate discussions among technical experts for planning and implementation of strategies. Our company has around 120 engineers, scientists, and certified project managers, and we have gross revenues in the $25 million range. Since 1995, we have been a wholly owned subsidiary of VSE Corporation, a large defense contractor. Relative to our business practices, we conduct all our work for our clients through some sort of contract arrangement, either short-term or long-term. We locate our opportunities either through a direct engagement with clients for sole source work or through competitively procured requests for proposals. In all cases, business success depends on locating these opportunities and securing commitments from our clients for mutually beneficial engagements. All of our work is secured through contract arrangements. This has two aspects: the activity to secure the work through proposal efforts of varying complexity, and the activity to negotiate contract language after securing the initial commitment from the client to engage us in a working relationship. Both of these are obviously critical to our success, so we have a dedicated contracts department to handle both of these aspects for the entire company. Although it is very useful to have a dedicated department to handle these complex issues, this is not without its problems. In our case, the contracts department is small and can be difficult to work with. Many employees are reluctant to engage the department in any fashion. Because of the nature of our work, we cannot predict when our clients will need assistance from us, nor can we predict how quickly they will need responses from us on doing the work. This means that the work of the contracts department is not levelized and can range from nearly zero to a level requiring multiple proposals to be completed simultaneously. These demands can often mean that the quality of the department's work is uneven and may be error-prone. Stress related to overwork can mean that relationships with internal staff needing assistance from the department can be strained. Overall corporate revenue is dependent on the number of proposals completed and the relative success rate in winning such proposals, so Energetics' success as an organization depends on the capability of the contracts department. Because of the critical nature of the contracts department, it is important to get to the root causes of the performance deficiencies. One way to get at these root causes is through 5 Why analysis, or repeatedly asking why to gather information on basic causes and effects of a quality problem. Here, we begin with the basic question of why the contract department's customers, both internal and external, are dissatisfied with the work of the department. Feedback from customers indicates that there are two reasons. First, the department can be very difficult to work with, and their customer relations can be quite poor. Second, the proposal and contract products from the department can contain inaccuracies that result in revisions or, in a worse case, loss of a contract opportunity. Next, we ask why the customer relations are poor and the products contain errors. Here we begin to see more basic causes in that the department is often overwhelmed by the cyclical workload. The department only contains 2 people and thus has no surge capacity for extraordinary demands for their services. So why is this department overworked? First, the department simply has too few people to handle the cyclical workload. This is because the department is not directly generating revenue, but is funded through overhead budgets. To remain competitive in the marketplace, Energetics seeks to minimize overhead costs, leading to a reluctance to hire additional people drawing from the overhead pool. As noted before, this understaffing problem is made worse by the unpredictable workloads that could require as little as a few hours of one staff member's time, or multiple staff members over the course of several weeks. If the department is staffed for the maximum need, then there will be underutilized people for part of the time, and if the department is staffed only for the average need, then there will be times when there will not be enough people to do all the work. The members of the department are also unwilling to delegate work to existing staff members who may have the capabilities to do the work, and to take advantage of this underutilized capacity elsewhere in the company. Finally, the department has processes that can be relatively inflexible but also labor-intensive and non-automated, leading to excessive amounts of handwork to finish proposals. This leads to the question of why the department is reluctant to use other resources and consider improvements to their processes. We find here that the department wants to maintain complete control over the company's contracts activities in order to ensure consistency and conformance to processes and procedures. The department is concerned that additional temporary or permanent staff members would not complete actions properly. The department also has a not invented here mentality that can obstruct progress. Several senior staff members have significant experience in developing cost proposals and have their own procedures for doing so. The contracts department has been unwilling to allow these staff members to suggest improvements in processes to improve efficiency and accuracy. The department has historically had free rein to dictate how contract and proposal activities are done, and senior managers have not stepped in to balance this tendency. Why does the company's management allow the contracts department to have this level of control over its operations, given the service role the department is taking in supporting other parts of the company? This comes down to two management problems. First, there is a mismatch of reporting responsibility as the contracts department supports Energetics business requirements, but actually reports to managers at the corporate parent. This means that Energetics managers have limited direct control of the day-to-day activities of the department. The VSE managers for the contracts department have direct management control of the actions and are able to make changes as required, but these managers are not on site at Energetics and thus do not directly see day-to-day activities and would not see any need for change. Any changes in contracts department activities would have to be observed by Energetics managers, up to the Energetics president, then over to VSE leadership and down to the relevant direct managers of the contract staff. Finally, Energetics' president has worked with the members of the contracts department for many years and is reluctant to assert her authority over these staff members because of this existing personal relationship. The 5 Why process has been very useful in analyzing a complex problem and isolating the critical issues for further study and possible correction. In the case of our contracts department, these include improper reporting structures between Energetics and our corporate parent, insufficient processes and procedures to deal with the work efficiently, insufficient staffing to handle the workload cycles, and departmental reluctance to make beneficial changes. Next, we will look at a proposed process to address these issues in a structured fashion. The 8D process is a structured system to address quality issues in an efficient manner. Here on this slide are the 8 steps of the process. We will broadly summarize the use of this tool for the specific Energetic Contracts Department problems. In step D1, a team of individuals from across our company's divisions would be identified, focusing on those individuals most responsible for proposal development. At least one individual with expertise in organizational design and behavior management should be included. Step D2 will produce a short white paper document outlining the who, what, where, when, why, how, and how many to define the problem, in this case insufficient response to proposal efforts, and quantify the gap between what is needed and what can currently be provided by the contracts department. In step D3, the company will outline the plan to isolate the customers, in this case our employees, from the negative impacts associated with the suboptimal operation of the department, perhaps by routing proposal interactions through an intermediary manager. In stage D4, the company will examine the contracts department's operations and determine the root causes for the constrained performance, one of which is the lack of qualified resources beyond the 2 full-time staff members. The company will develop and test corrective actions in D5 to solve the problems. Here, a test might be to conduct 2 simulated proposal activities of differing complexity at the same time and review the department's performance in completing this task. The corrective actions tested successfully will be implemented in D6 as permanent policy and procedure for the department, and will be highlighted as positive corrective change within the company's internal communications, so employees will expect improved service. The company will review its management processes during D7 to ensure that the failures that led to the poor contracts department performance are not encountered elsewhere in the company. Finally, in step D8, the company president will summarize the work of the team in a corporate meeting and offer formal thanks for the work done to improve the contracts department. So what are the conclusions to be drawn from this work? First and foremost, the contracts department in Energetics is a critical link in the business development chain and must operate at peak efficiency for us to be successful. However, the current department has significant problems as defined by our 5 Why process, dealing with processes, people, and reporting. A rigorous quality process such as 8D can address these problems quickly and thoroughly to ensure we will be successful as a company in the future. Our senior management is very interested in dealing with these problems, and these findings will assist our vice presidents in making recommendations moving forward. Thank you.